Maybe should have long the NQ here, but ES was back above the opening print and it felt like just had more room to the upside. So I liked the ES long. I'm gonna take off this third chart. What is it? It's like 2, it's gonna hit like 2000 target, 3000 target. I go low key add one more here. I'll buy one. See the NQ, I saw the long with the doji here, but I don't know. I just wasn't too sure about the long honest. I just kind of like the hold of the opening print here. All right, so let's write it out, right? What's the trend? If we take a look at the trend on the larger time frame, we're in an all-time high market, right? We're still in the daily CBC buy signal, so daily still in the buy. If we look at the trend, so trend again, right? We're trending at an all-time high market level, reclaim of opening print, right? Signal, right? We had a 2/3 minute buy. 3 minute always stayed in a bullish CBC state. So, okay, right? Risk to reward. Let's take a look at the risk to reward. I mean, I want more time to pass by. Like ideally, the 30-minute orb holds up. NQ, I am still interested in it. So it's like a 3R trade here. Potential 3R trade. NQ, I do like the NQ, but let me see. Probably had a 5-minute bullish CBC flip here. Yeah. Reversal signal triggering. I need buy. 10 minutes still bearish on this, but nah, I feel like I missed the entry for this one. The entry realistically would have been on this 2-minute CBC flip to the upside. So for this trade, it would have been either break above this candle or 2-minute CBC flip, risking like low of day. Your entry is also 3R, so I mean, I essentially had 3R. They both had 3R opportunities, but I don't know. Like this trade is pretty clean till you swipe the lows, the consolidation lows here, and now you're getting bought back up. But let's just focus on what I'm actually in, right? And that's in the ES. So it's all good. I missed out the other trade, but I can't catch it all, I can't catch it all. RTY daily chart I still liked. Let's go look stronger. YM daily chart. It's not bad. The overnight high-ish area still level, potential level. But YM is no love. It's just straight 2-minute CVC flip to the downside and you're straight selling off. Like that is not ideal. But will it tag yesterday's low again? I mean, if we get a bit off the opening print, I'd take it for a shot again. 15-minute bar is just 15 minutes just an inside bar, so I still like it. It's buy red, sell green in the 15. So RTY is definitely a watch for myself. Let's see what the other stuff are doing. NQ. NQ is looking good still. It's 1.5 R, and then even if you tighten your risk, you're just looking at a 2R trade. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that one. R2Y feels like I'm just fishing for a trade here. I mean, YM wouldn't be a bad trade in the sense where I'm trading like the lower end of the range, like complete solid. If we get a retag of the opening print, I'll long here low key, high key. Nothing low key about the trade because I don't expect a double tag of yesterday's low as well. All right, I'm in the RTY as well. Long in the RTY. So along the RTY, let's take a look at our risk. 3.5 hour trade. Yeah. I mean, you're basically a risk slightly below 50-minute candle low. Probably eat that stop it pretty fast, to be honest. Let me see. They put it at like a randomish number. 13. Why they stop at 13 here? Still makes a 2.5 hour trade, which is pretty decent. If you leave it at the level, you could buy a red here. That's the thing. ES is holding up better. I mean, in theory, you still have a 30-minute buy side here. 30-minute wick to the upside here. Wicks get taken out pretty frequently. So I still like the idea of this trade. This is showing relative strength early, just watching for a potential higher low pullback. ES, I'm also still in the ES. So like 30-minute, you have a strong 30-minute CBC flip to the upside. We want to clear this candle wick prior high, and that should give us some confirmation to the upside, essentially. I mean, 35-minute passed already. Orb is still pretty tight. If this low, see, okay, so essentially this is what I see in the trades. This area low needs to hold, right? We're going to be targeting overnight highs, ideally as a target. Ideally, the end target is this level here. We have a level in between. So I have 3 resistance levels above us. For RTY, we already technically tested these levels here, so the levels are weaker, right? But if we also take a look at the, let's just say the 10-minute chart, you have a 10-minute potential higher low here. And also the reason why I entered in was more so because we had a 15-minute 1, 2, 3 setup here, right? So trend bar, pause bar, we want to see a breakout above this trend bar here. We did crack the lows and ran the lows here, but still, I'm overall, like I'm still bullish on this position. So we'll see where this trade wants to bring us. It's win, lose, or draw. These will be my last 2 trades for the day, right? I'm not going to take anything more after this. These setups are very textbook to me. ES was simply just reclaim above the opening print. RTY was more so of what's the daily showing, right? Daily is pretty bullish here. You can see that we are just starting to like consolidate and sort of have a potential breakout day, right? If we take a look at the first, the first 10 minutes worth of action, like take a look, first 10 minutes worth of action on RTY versus ES. RTY is clearly like the stronger name. Even YM itself, like I'm pretty sure YM is maybe catching a turn here. Yeah, YM is a potential long opportunity here as well, risking low of day, but pulled back a little too much for my liking. But RTY and YM were both the stronger names to begin with, right? We have a 30-minute CBC flip to the upside, so 30-minute change in trend to the upside. You also have a 30-minute wick here, right? 30-minute wick here, and these wicks tend to get ran through, right? So with that being said, holding above the opening print, need to reclaim these levels at, we need to reclaim 2924.2 essentially. That's the key level that we want to have a 30-minute close above. And then if we're able to close above there, it looks like we could potentially have the IB extension to the upside. So we'll have the IB high ideally get tagged and then IB high extension to the upside. So we'll see where this trade brings us. 3.25 hour trade on the table here. I mean, if you're tightening your risk right now and use the 45-minute or below, you have a 7-hour trade. So essentially, I have a 7-hour trade. In theory, right? If I want to move my stops up now, which would make sense. Holding this level here at 2921. Yes, I'm not really going to micromanage. I mean, even in both of these positions, there's not really much to like micromanage about, to be honest with you. They're very straightforward trades. All right, let's do a position update right now. So let's take a look at the RTY. RTY is creating a failure to go lower bar here. 15-minute triggering to the upside buy is still struggling against this 2924.2 area. So we need to clear this to really get this going. In terms of the ES is still looking relatively pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. With ES, we just want to see, we already tagged the overnight highs. So you're seeing some type of rejection there, which makes sense, right? but the first hour hasn't formed yet as it is only 10:22. About 8 more minutes until initial balance high is set. So ideally, once initial balance high is set, we want to tag through initial balance high and then rotate up high through our next targets here. All right, so one thing I looked at too here, right, is the breakout, right, for RTY is that you have a 75% chance of hitting a 0.3 extension to the upside. So ideally, right, if we fast forward time and if we do get to crack the initial bounce high, this is only a 0.25 extension to the upside. So this would lie right in between the 0.2 and the 0.3. So what is that? That's like an 80% chance that we do tag this following level here. So just gonna leave my target basically at that level as that's a 0.25 extension to the upside. All right, we're getting a 15-minute CBC flip to the downside here, so probably gonna eat the stop on this one here. Looks like they are protecting the IB high at this level. NQ, I'm still interested in a potential long. I'm gonna eat the stop on this one though, but it is what it is. It's the risk I took, and it's a risk I accept. All right, let's take a look at the ES position. ES position is pulling back here, right? I'm very interested in an NQ long. Just need to see some type of turn and hold here. We literally tagged the level to the T and rejected. I don't want to get in. I also don't want to get in early here, right? Like I don't want to just jump in here, but the risk is lower if I enter now as we're testing the middle of range. Let me look for a 2-minute buy at least. I'll shoot my shot on the NQ long here. All right, let's see. Where do I place stops? Stops for this trade would be like, I want them very tight. It's either this is either I catch the turn right here and it works, or I'm incorrect quickly. Leave them at 17. RTY is, I think I ate my RTY stop here. Did I? Let me see. Pretty sure I ate the RTY stop. Oh shit, I didn't eat the RTY stop yet. So RTY is still surviving. ES is still holding up like a champ. So you know, I'm in multiple positions now. So NQ, I'm basically along the opening print here. Risking 17. What is it, 17? And I'm targeting the. This is my trade for the NQ. 2-minute bullish CVC flip to the upside here. 5-minute buy. 3-minute probably flipped. 3 minutes trying to flip here. Target is up here. So 3R trade for this, 3R trade for this, and 2.4R trade for this. So I mean this is 2.4. Why is this 3R? Oh, my stops is incorrect. Had a this. So it's like something like that. This should be looking at ES, I believe. That's a weird wick. I don't know what this wick is from. But I'm happy it didn't stop me out, so I'm happy that it didn't stop me out. Open inside day for this as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll let these trades play out. All right, 5-minute CBC flip on the NQ now. Also catching a 10-minute flip on the ES. All right, so let's do a position recap as to what's going on right now. So ES, right? Let's talk about the entry. So we could just, give ourselves a little refresher as to why we are in these positions, right? While we're in the positions and what the trade is currently looking like. So ES, why do we take ES long? So earlier in the session, when I was looking at the NQ versus the ES, personally, I did like the ES a little more, right? Just because at the time being, with the current price action, we did manage to have a 2 minute buy here as well as a 2 minute CVC flip to the upside. And from there, we held the opening print and just rallied. So from given the 1030 perspective, when the initial balance high was set, which is this candle right here, we've now taken out the initial balance high. So any type of retracement inside of initial balance does make sense, as typically we get about a 25% retracement inside the initial balance. So that is fine for me, right? Um, Now I'm more so looking for the extension to the upside for targeting the overnight high. I mean, yesterday's high. So ES trade looks fine to me. I am being a little cautious here as I'm watching, as I'm pretty leveraged into the equities right now long, and I don't want to be too over leveraged, but I just see the setups there. And if I see the setups, I'm willing to take the stab because it's not every day that you get an all-time high market. It's not every day you see this type of strength in the market, right? And then let's talk about my second position, which was the RTY that I entered. So you can see like right here, like I'm literally in all these positions right here. So like I'm in I'm in RTY, ES, and RTY, ES, and NQ. So let's talk about the RTY position, why I entered RTY. So if we're reading candlestick by candlestick, you can see that we had a 15-minute bullish CVC flip to the upside. And not only that, right? Take a look at NQ earlier in the session where we failed to get back above the opening print, right? And we just sold off completely. And we caught a nice reversal from the low of day. I did see the potential setup, but I think I was just too actively managing my ES. So I just didn't want to take an additional stab, right? But I did see that we set up a 15-minute 1 2 3 pattern, right? So even if you look at a larger time frame, right? So you can see right here, we've basically set up a 1 2 3 in the 30-minute chart, right? So rally bar, pause bar, and we're breaking above that pause bar. So that's giving us a nice push to the upside. Ideally, IB high breaks, and we tagged this 29.39 as our target. And then let's take a look at the NQ. Why did I enter the NQ, right? So when I saw the market get a, like somewhat of a shakeout, I just looked at NQ chart just to see, oh, is anything setting up, right? For me, of what I see is that I did think about the entry here earlier, right? On the reclaim of the opening print, but because we just caused such a straight rally move to the upside, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I get it, right? I could have just bought red, so buy this red candle and targeted the priority high. But for me, I don't know. I just wanted to see some more type of, wavelength set because at the end of the day, you never see a chart go straight up like that, right? You more so see charts move up in motions, right? And where was my next, level, my next interest level, right? The opening print here. So when I saw a 2 minute buy signal and a 2 and 3 minute CBC flip to the upside, that gave me more conviction to hold that trade, right? So I'm gonna continue to hold these trades throughout here. Nothing to do really, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna actively just manage my positions as everything just occurs still. Like there's really not much for me to do. Just holding the positions and letting them ride out because I already planned every trade, right? So like this trade, you can see I planned it. Trend, all-time high market, reclaim opening print signal, 2 to 3 minute buy. Let's write out the reason for this one, right? Trend, all-time high market, right? Level. We're trading with the opening print, right? And also the initial balance stats, right? Or like you could say we've also tagged 30-minute orb high. 30-minute orb, and then signal, right? My signal was a 2 minute buy plus 30-minute CBC, right? And let's talk let's write out the reason as to why I entered this trade long, right? So trend, right? Trend, you have a daily bull flag. Level, the level is basically, I guess you could say I had 1 hour levels. And then signal, right? My signal in was I don't remember exactly. I think maybe it was like a 2 minute turn, or I think it was like a 5 minute, like a 3 minute buy. We just say 3 minute buy plus 15-minute 1 2 3. And yeah, just keep it as simple as it's really as simple as that. I'm actively watch his position here now. If we get a 2 minute CBC flip to the downside, I will exit this trade. I'm gonna allow the 2 minute candle to close here for the full exit here on the RTY. All right, all out of the RTY here. All right, I'm gonna trail out of my position now, so I am watching closely here, right? I don't want to see a failed auction where we tag right above the initial bounce high and then create a failed auction to the downside. I'd much rather protect my profits. So my new trailing, right, is gonna be trail with 5 minute CBC. So that's gonna be my new. All right, looking to exit this trade if we have a full 5 minute CBC close. Trailing with the 5 minute CBC. I already wrote it down here, so I'm gonna respect my plan. As much as I do want to hold it, I'm not gonna. I'm not going to pray or beg or whatever. Like I know there's a high chance that we like pull back to wherever. I don't know where we will pull back to, but I'm gonna trail as I said in my plan, right? Yes, like I want to hold. Like we're literally what, like a tick away from Friday's high, but I'm gonna listen to my plan and trail properly because my dynamic R is going against me at this point. It is going against me. I have 300 minutes for this candle to close. So either this candle gets wicked back up, right? Or I end up giving back a good chunk of profits, which it is what it is. I've decided my fate as to how I want to trail this position on like 3 minute CBC flip. This could be a potential exit here. But I'm gonna give it the full 5 minute CBC. Or 5 minute CBC. Took the full exit on the ES here. NQ, I am giving it the full 5 minutes. I have to exit on my other account as well, low key. Um, So all out of that, I'm literally just training my plan. If I said there's a 5 minute CBC flip, then I'm gonna exit. Yes, we could pull back, and there's like a 90% chance that we tag this Friday's high area, right? But it doesn't matter because in my plan, I said trail with 5 minute CBC. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna follow my plan because at the end of the day, right? It's like, yeah, I could pivot away from my plan or be a little loose sometimes, which in theory it does work, right? But more times than often, at least for myself, when I pivot away from the original plan, I get hurt. And also, if you think about it, right, my dynamic R has gone against me. It's going against me here, right? So I'm still giving it some breathing room, of course. So like, let's see. If I end up entering, let's say like around right here, right? For me to get the extra few points like this, right? What's my R to R? Let's say my minimum risk is below this 5 minute pivot low, right? That's a 1-to-1 trade. Am I really gonna risk a whole basically extra R just to make one R? No, I don't want to do that. For this trade, I'm just gonna hold it through and see if we could. All right, we tagged this target. It looks like we could grind higher, but we are heading into lunch hour, so I may look to honestly just take the exit. This has been like a really good trade day for me. I'm 3 for 3 on the day. Um, really, really good trade day. I literally can't express how thankful I am to be in the position that I am in. And sometimes it's like not only am I thankful, but I don't know. I'm like in a loss of words because I've progressed so much in the last year, and it's mainly from just trusting my plan, trusting my process, and having a repeatable system day in and day out. Right, my system is extremely repeatable. I literally look for the same things almost every single day. Whether the market is bearish or bullish, like I had videos from last year exactly, and I was doing the same exact thing. It's more so now my whole time I just gotten better. My MAE and just whatever, just taking profits has gotten a lot better. Me trusting myself has gotten a lot better. And I think it's only up from here, really. It's like, especially with the all time high market right now, markets are trending. So if there's a time to press it for myself, I'd rather press it in times like these where, we're catching super nice trends. So why not try to play the trend, right? Like, for example, when QQQ was more in a, just a straight consolidation phase like this, I was trying to trade this mess. Whereas if you look at gold, right, gold is rallying, but I was a little too afraid to trade it. I was like, I'm not comfortable with the index. I'm not comfortable trading gold, whatever. But there's no such thing as, oh, you're only comfortable trading a certain asset, right? You should be comfortable trading anything that's very strong or rallying. Like, look at this whole rally. I missed out this whole entire move, right? Because for like what it was, look how bullish we were. Like straight up bullish since the breakout was in 2022 all the way towards the end of the start of 2026. It was just straight rally, and I was just too afraid to trade it because I just wasn't comfortable with the gold, right? But clearly it doesn't matter. I just have to trade what is setting up for me and what's the strongest name, at least for my system, personally speaking. I know everyone likes to trade differently. That's just my style of trading. um yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, and I only plan on trying to get better at trading and with my system overall. Okay, now we're catching a 2 minute sell. I'm out of this trade here. We already tagged my target, so this was a great trade.